Well, hey everyone. Remember me? I'm back. It's me, Tessa, your long lost radio buddy. I figured, between society being on the brink of collapse, government shutdown, I thought, why not take this opportunity to talk about myself again? I thought that was my exact line of thinking. No, in all seriousness, if you remember me from the Rod Ryan show, which I stepped away from, it hasn't even been a year, but I feel like I've lived 20 lives since then. If you remember me from then, great. Thanks for still rocking with me. I appreciate that. If not, my name's Tessa. This is Tess Talks 2.0. Okay, so it does feel good to say this again. We are getting back on the podcast. I am actually talking with iHeart again about maybe doing some weekend stuff with Sunny. I always have loved the radio. It was never about me not wanting to do that job. I think it just came to a point in my life where something had to give and things were coming to a head. So this time is more on my own terms, which you know me. I'm boss bae. I'm bossy. I can listen for a little bit, but really I like to do my own thing. A lot of you know, as I mentioned, that I walked away from Rod Ryan show, which is the most popular. It is still the most popular radio morning talk show in Houston. And I did that at the beginning of 2025. Anytime I've met anyone outside of that, they really have questions, they have opinions, and today, instead of, answering that question over and over, which I'm sure I will have to do over and over, or dodging any questions, I thought, okay, let me tell you, this is how it all went down in my own words, okay? So a lot of questions are like, why did you leave the morning show? We miss you on the morning show. Come back to the morning show. And I always say, I miss you too. Oh my God, you miss me? I miss you too. I don't miss those hours. And I always tell people, am I aging in reverse? Because I'm actually getting more than 4 to 5 hours of sleep per night. So I feel really refreshed no matter what. I realize that, wow, you can get a lot done in the morning if you're not sitting down for 4 hours in a cubicle box in a lizard terrarium. But I really did trade one terrarium for another because I'm going to get into what it's like to be the host of Houston Life. And it is a lot of the same, but the hours to me are more workable. People that work in the morning radio sphere, in that world, I mean, they really do, you are built a little different. You are built a little differently. So the moment I knew I had to leave radio, even though we were at the top, is that I didn't feel as creatively challenged as I like to feel. So you guys may know I started a TikTok for the show because I always like doing, my own creative things. Yes, there were some ideas, but at the end of the day, all the ideas came down to Rod. That is Rod's show. It is the Rod Ryan show. And I'll never forget when I got here, my mom was like, when are they gonna call it the Rod and Tessa show? I was like, that's probably never gonna happen. Rod's been in this industry for 20 years. On Houston airwaves, at least for 20 years. It's a pretty cool thing that he's done. He was recently nominated to the Texas Radio Hall of Fame, which I couldn't be happier for dude. But to reiterate the fact that that is his show. And, with Houston Life, which is on Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. on NBC. We really get a lot more chances. We do about 6 segments per day, 6 segments 5 times a week. You get a lot more independence when it comes to, hey, I really like, it could be something as simple as, I have a makeup artist that I really like and they've really changed my life. Do you guys like my makeup? It's by Cynthia Glam. Okay, I'll put her details in the comments. So something as simple as that, hey, these makeup hacks changed my life. I want to have this person on. I want to tell people what they can do to make their routine easier. That can be a segment. The only problem is the time constraint. So 6 minutes on TV, that isn't a lot. I mean, there is an opportunity to give people information and kind of tell them where to go find more information. But that's really why I'm back sitting down and talking and using my voice, because there is no freedom. There's no creative freedom of expression like the long form podcast, okay? And you think, how does that work? Well, I mean, Joe Rogan, Alex Cooper, my favorite, who I don't listen to either of those. I don't listen to either of those podcasts. I see clips online. Those podcasts can go 2 hours, 3 hours. I'm excited to have long conversations like that. I'm a little more ADHD, so I feel more like we can get to the point a little quicker. Might keep these to like an hour. But anyway, I'm not gonna put myself in the box is my point. One of my favorite podcasters, and I will say this, I kind of owe it to her while I'm sitting here because she makes me feel like I can have these juicy conversations. Her name is Heather McDonald, stamp of approval. If you guys are looking for if you used to read Us Weekly or People Magazine back in the day, 17, I was a 17 reader, subscriber. Heather McDonald, she really is good about picking out all the Hollywood drama and kind of just giving you a little summary of it. So if we have that in Houston, you know I want to talk about it. I also want to have some guests on that are talking about that. But anyway, I digress. So this decision was more about growth. It was about passion, feeling passionate to be in the line of work that I was doing again, because I had really lost that flair. The thing about the Rod Ryan Show is it is a well-oiled machine. It doesn't really deviate from the standard. I mean, I can tell you what time it is according to what game we're playing, if it's Texas Hammer game, if it's trending. I can tell you when we're on the 15s, the 30s, the 55s. So as cool as that was to learn that system, I had already learned it. I felt like I could do the job with my eyes closed. Did Rod feel that way? Maybe he thought I was doing it with my eyes closed. I don't know. But I did know that it was time for me to step away and let someone get in there who could be more creatively fulfilled, right? TV gives me that stretch creatively, which I really, really like. Houston Life specifically, because I can't speak for other shows. I can only speak for the shows that I've been on. And to just this last week, for example, I got to meet Gertie Barrera, who is a Real Housewife of Miami. I am a huge fan of her. She is actually cooler in person than she is on TV. Do some fun reels with her, talk with her, get to know her. Then I also had Michael Aswell Jr., who is going to be fighting on the UFC Brazil card next weekend. 25-year-old up-and-comer kid, grew up right here in Houston. Like, those were segments that I got to book, I got to produce, I got to chat with these people. And those are just two examples. I mean, I think I had two other segments in addition to those last week. But those are the kinds of things that where I wake up in the morning, it's like, oh, how's today gonna go? And I don't quite know. It's just a little bit of a shakeup every single day. So I love it. A lot of people asked if I struggled with the decision or if I felt like I was starting over. Did it feel like leveling up? I did struggle with the decision, but what people may not know is that even though I stepped away at the end of 2024, I was ready to go about 6 months before that. And I think the way the listeners got to hear me say goodbye was also interesting, because you don't want to do this thing and drop a seed maybe 3 months before I'm gonna go and be like, hey, by the way, Tessa's leaving. I think we did it maybe a month out. Didn't give listeners it could have even been shorter than that. I mean, I don't even remember that part of my life was a blur, because I would wake up at 4, I would get to the studio, I would do the show from 6 to 10 a.m. And then after that, I would go straight to the TV station. I would go straight to KPRC. I would get ready, hair and makeup ready, and have to be in the chair in the news teas, in the afternoon news teas by 12:15. So that was a halt. Then that was before the show even started. Then we would do the show live, 1 to 2 p.m. every single day. Once that 2 p.m. hits, yes, you can breathe a little sigh of relief, maybe get a bite to eat, maybe get some coffee, maybe get something of some sort of sustenance, and then think about the next shows, think about the next show, think about the next show. So it was just a grind. You're talking 12 to 14 hour days every single day. And where I am actually broadcasting from right now, where we're doing this podcast, this apartment is directly behind the Ryan building. And you know what? I don't believe in that. People are like, don't tell people where you live. I'm like, don't tell people I'm packing heat, because if you run up on me, you're going to get run up on. I'm just kidding. Okay, what was that? What was that, Bobby Jokes? Okay, so, I, boom, surprise, I've been watching you first. Okay, just kidding. I have to stop this part of it. Okay, so we moved behind here because it was an act of desperation. It was an act of desperation, just the proximity to iHeart. I can literally roll out of bed, walk over to work, and Travis would walk me over to work, and I would cry. I'd be like, I'm so tired. And he'd be like, come on, Tiger, you got, 3 months left. And I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm strong. I'm a baddie. And then 1 month, and then he was like, it's gonna fly by. It's gonna fly by. And let me tell you guys, those last 6 months, they did not fly by. They did not fly by. They were a whirlwind, but I could feel every ounce of my being just being ready to check out and saying, like, I cannot do both of these things. I have to pick. I have to pick one. And, I think the hardest thing for me was, not only are Alex and Sheila my close friends, Rod on the Christmas card before I left, not the last Christmas, because he knew I was leaving. I think he was still mad at me. I don't know if he was mad at me. I don't know. I'm gonna have to put Rod in this chair. He can be one of my guests. We'll do that. I will arrange that for us. So he had wrote, Tessa, it's been an amazing 5 years. Like, let's do 5 more and ride out into the sunset together. And I was like, what a nice thought. Like, what a nice, perfect little buttoned up situation that would be. Like, wouldn't that be something? And then maybe if I'm a good girl, like I can be on the show, or the new co-host will like me, or it'll be my show. But you can't live your life like that. You can't live your life waiting for little nuggets, because you kind of have to just go after what you want. And don't get me wrong, the success and the love that the listeners showed me during that whole time, I still get that. I still get that everywhere. Hey, we miss you on the morning show. Hey, come back, silly things like that. But it is like nothing I have ever experienced. And that was the hardest part, like saying like, damn, am I disappointing Rod? Am I not like cementing my legacy? Like all I have to do is suck it up for 5 years. But I don't think, like, if it's a dream job, why do you have to suck it up and do it? Like, is it that miserable that you have to suck it up and do it? I just knew my time, that chapter had come to a close. I just knew that. I felt that I was stepping into this new medium, and it was like, oh, I can still do this. Oh, I can still do this. And I knew being on the radio made me even better for live TV. But it was also like, oh, this is challenging. Like I can't do this with my eyes closed. So that was really the reason why I left. And it was exciting. It was terrifying. I've definitely taken a pay cut, not working 2 jobs. But you know what I realized when I was getting checks from both places? I was shelling out money just for comfort. Like I would do anything. Like, well, we'll go, but I want to go out of town, but I have to be back early on Sunday night. Well, fuck it. I forget it's a podcast. I can cuss. Fuck. Shit. Yes, we're so back. Oh, we're so back. Okay, so I would just end up paying for things to comfort myself, because I knew once Monday got there, it was like, time's up, bitch. Get your ass, you're back, straight to jail, back to prison. And it's like, no one should feel that way about their life. You know what I mean? No one should feel like this is like a time sentence, So that was really interesting. Did I put away some money? Yes, I will. I didn't completely spend it all, but you know what I ended up doing? I ended up getting an apartment close to work. I had originally bought a house on the north side of town in Houston, and when the traffic from KPRC, when I would leave work at like 4:30, which I stay way later than that now, it would kill me. I mean, it was like anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes to get home. And I thought, I can't do that. Like I literally paid for my time back to get an apartment closer, to cut my commute down so that I could function, so that I could even just exist. And I think a lot of people say, oh my God, that's so glamorous, like that, like, oh my God, you radio. And it would be, let me tell you how it would be glamorous, how it could be made glamorous. It would be glamorous if the radio show were 4 to 10 and it wasn't so like rigid, and we could like still interview guests. And Rod has his reasons why he doesn't bring on interviews. Not everyone, and that's the other thing, not everyone is motherfucking interesting. Not everyone is interesting. Oh, you should interview so-and-so. Oh, should I? Okay, well, because I sat down with them and they were heinous. Like, I just, not everyone is interesting. It takes a very special person to be like intriguing on camera. And some people have that gift of yap and gab. I'm still perfecting that craft. That is hard. Rod can carry that torch. Rod is very good at that. And I would hope I took away a little bit of that from him by osmosis and just like watching him and, how organically it flows. But also, he's been in this business for a really long time. So listen, that's what would make it a dream job. If it could still be organic and creative and a surprise, not so schedule, and it has to be this and this, and like whatever. I don't want to get into the semantics of that. And then it'd be a dream job if I could just walk and Houston Life had like 10 producers and they just handed me a script and I sat down and I did hair and makeup and they were like, okay, go do the show. And I did the show 1 to 2. And then at 2:30, we had a briefing and we had lunch and coffee. And then I was like, okay, bye. Then that would be ideal dream job. But that's just not the case. Anything that's worth having, anything that's worth doing, it takes time, it takes effort. Even me to sit down and talk about my life, the shit that I do, the shit that I've lived, I had to write notes. You have to write notes. You have to take notes, okay? You have to do your research. You can't just pop on. And do I think there are too many podcasts? Do I think the world needs one more podcast? No. But do I think I'm pretty good at it? Yes. Do I have a resume to back it up? Yes, I do. So subscribe, like, follow, and share with your friends because that's very important. Also, I need to get some sponsors for this because like I said, anything worth doing takes time and it takes a little bit of money. You think Bobby Jokes works for free? You think he comes here and sets it up? He would if I asked him. If I said, please, Bobby, please, I think I'm going to be famous, please. Do it for free. It's my birthday month. I think I might get a one freebie, but that's not the way it goes. He's laughing over there. I don't even know. His rates have gone up because he's getting better. As you do the things over and over, you get better at it. You can set up quick. It's just like everything takes fucking time. And do you think I like that any more than the next person? I don't. I'm the most impatient person on the absolute planet. I hate waiting for things so much. I hate dating when I meet a guy and they're not automatically in love with me. That hurts me. But then I'm like, the guys that do that are red flags and they're love bombing me and they're probably gonna put a dent in my car. I'm speaking from experience, okay? Like, just be patient. Oh my God, I'm getting old. I turned 40. You guys, I turned 40. I'm a woman, I'm 40. I'll be 40 next week and look how wise. It's like I read all these books in this little fake library here. That's how it feels. I have read some good books. That's another thing. Okay. Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Tess Talks. I wouldn't be here without the help of Barrera Law. I literally wouldn't be here without Barrera Law. So the night before my Rod Ryan Show interview, I got into a motor vehicle accident. Someone blew through a red light, hit me in the car. I was with my younger brother and my younger sister, and it was an actual nightmare at the time, but I let Barrera Law handle it, and it was smooth sailing. They got me into a rental. I got to my interview, which was at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I highly recommend them. So you can check them out online at jbarreralaw.com, and if you tell them Tessa sent you, that makes me look really good, and that probably buys us a couple more episodes. Okay, so it's jbarreralaw.com. Thank you guys. So before I got the TV job, I bought some golf clubs. And I was like, fuck it. Like, I have free time. I had done the audition with Houston Life. I had done the audition for a week with Derek and I loved it. And then I didn't hear from them. I heard null. I had nothing. I heard silence. I heard crickets. I could hear a pin drop from the other side of the freeway. And I told my mom, I said, well, shit, like I knew I was getting worn down with the morning show. And here's something no one knows. I actually got an offer for a radio show within iHeartMedia in Los Angeles. And they wanted to bring me, and you know what? Rod and Elliot's hands would have been tied because I told Elliot that I was going to send them my resume and it was within the company. So I would have left. I would have been like, they were like, where's Tessa? She's in LA. I'd be like, but literally, I told my mom because I was getting burnt out with RRS. And I said, hey, like, I think I'm going to move back to Los Angeles. And And remember, a lot has transpired. My brother and sister have now graduated from high school. They're adults now. My, mom in a different place. Like everyone was different. We had kind of grown up just a little bit more. Everyone, and I had given them my time. I mean, I was in Corpus every month at least once. And she said, you know what, mija, you gotta do what you gotta do. And I was like, whoa, I got my Mexican mom's blessing to do something that doesn't benefit the family. Holy shit. Wow. Okay. So that was like a weight, just a weight lifted off me. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to go back. Like, I'm going to go back to LA, because when I was there originally, I was the part-time girl and I was the fill-in girl, and I would, everyone liked me very much, but I didn't have like a set place. Well, this was like a set place. It was at a really good time slot. I knew how to do the job because I'd worked at KFI and know how to run that board. Everything was just like, okay. Well, so my mom, literally that same day, because my mom was here. I think she was off from work. My mom's a teacher, so she has sometimes she'll get a fall break or something. She was here in Houston, and we were at my house, the one that is under property management now, and probably an Airbnb. There's probably a party going on right there right now that I'll have to pay for eventually. By the way, taxes, suck it, okay? House taxes, suck it. The American dream, possibly dead. We'll get into that at another time in another place. And my phone rings, and it's the GM of KPRC. And I know Phil because I knew him because he used to be the GM for KSAT in San Antonio, where I also have interviewed, where I'm familiar with. They have offered me a job there when I was in Corpus. So I was like, Phil's calling me, he's calling me. And she's like, answer it. And I'm like, what the fuck could it be? So I'm like, I put it on speakerphone, and I'm like, Phil, what a pleasant surprise. Oh yeah, Tessa, I think it's good news too. We're gonna go ahead and let you do the radio show and the TV show. We'd like to offer you the position. Stop. And my mom was like, yay! I remember my mom was she's not leaving, you know what I mean? And it was also a sign no, Houston is where you belong. Houston is where you should stay for now. I'm so hesitant because I'm so non-committal. I'm so gone with the wind fabulous. Nothing can hold me down, not an anchor, nothing. But my mom knew that I would stay for that TV job because it was exciting and it was new and it was something I wanted to do. And me and Derek had gotten along so well. He was so fun. And I just knew we could create some of these little TV magic moments together. So that's why, FYI, tell your friends, tell your moms, tell your husbands. That's why I decided to stay here. And I love this city, but I was like, I guess, I don't know if there's anything else here for me, me personally and professionally to grow. So that's the story of why I stayed. And then that's when I ended up doing it for a year, and then getting doing the double overtime bullshit. And then now I'm back. And so now I've been at Houston Life for 2 years. Now that has felt like a blink of an eye. That's felt like 1, 2, fever dream. I think of all the people we've spoke to. I think of all the people that have come through the studio, and I need to get better at names because I'm like, wait, do I know you? She's like, yeah, I've been here. And I'm like, it's been a year. It's been a year since I have last spoken to this particular person, moving and shaking, doing things in our community. Shout out, by the way, Sam's Plants and Pants, because she's been on Bobby Jokes, Robert Barbosa. His girlfriend has been on Houston Life. She is very passionate about clothes swaps and recycling, and she's great on TV. She's been on solo, and then she's been on with her team, and both times it was great. So it's hard. People don't understand. It's hard to be in front of a camera when you love something so much and you want to share it with people and you only have 5 minutes to do it. That's a lot of fucking pressure. That is a lot of fucking pressure, and anyone that can go on and execute it is a baddie. So I love that. Okay, so one of the questions I always get, do you ever see yourself returning to radio in any form, or is that door closed? And I feel like I've answered that because I'm here, I'm sitting. So any form, this is the form that I choose. This is the format I like. And I am going to be doing some side stuff with Sunny, but it's not huge. Dana is still the morning show there. I would like to, I think I'm going to do some weekend shifts with Sunny. But not at the expense of my personal life. It's not going to be a huge time commitment. It's just going to be what I like. So what did you want for yourself that radio couldn't give you anymore? I think I've talked about that too, the creative freedom, but I still miss it. And I still miss the connection because radio is the most intimate form. It's the most intimate media form. Like, it's a literal earworm that gets in your ear, and you can talk to someone and you can relate with someone. And I have had so many people who have told me, oh, I didn't like you when you came on, but man, I miss you. And I'm like, what a backhanded fucking wonderful compliment that is. I miss people too. And also to all the people that are like, we miss you, Mo's just not doing it for us. You fucking said that about me too. You said that about me. You probably said that about Dinah. You probably said that about Teresa. Like, yeah. Here's what you don't like. Change. That's what people don't like. They're not comfortable with change, something different. And have you ever heard that saying, like, well, everybody's replaceable? That's not true. That is not true. You can replace someone in a very technical, professional sense, like this is no longer your position, this is someone else's position, but you cannot be someone else. That person, you are so unique. Only you can do what you can do. Okay, now someone can else, and maybe they're better at, this kind of information because of the way they grew up or whatever. Like, everyone has their assets. Everyone has something to give is my point. So for someone who has never been everybody's cup of tea, I think if you're everybody's cup of tea, you're capping. Like, I think if you're everybody's cup of tea, you are a fucking scam artist. Like, no way are you everyone's cup of tea. Not even the most beautiful, lovely, friendly, kind. Like, everyone's got their Achilles heel. Everyone's got their something that they are maybe ashamed of, or right. I mean, we are all human. And that is the thing. Like, that is the thing that I've learned, especially in this business, because people fucking hated me when I started out on TV in Corpus. And now they all miss me. And they all say, Tessa, come back to Corpus. And I can't because I'm here. Pissing people off here. And once I'm done pissing people off here, making them love me here, I might have something else to do. We don't know. Only God knows, okay? Only God knows. And I'm half fucking around, but I'm mostly for real. Let's talk about, do you feel proud of yourself for betting on you? Always bet on yourself. That's the other thing. That's not just a me thing. Always bet on yourself because you can. The human spirit is infinite. It is unconquerable. It is something that we all have deep inside of us. And a lot of people lose their way. A lot of people, maybe they're in toxic relationships and they have someone telling them that they're not good enough, or this is the worst thing, when your family and friends are doubting you, but you really believe you have something to share. You have to hold on to that little seed of faith all the time, despite what's going on, because this outer circumstance thing, it is so temporary, and you can change your life. You can change your life by believing and betting on yourself. And I will say, I have mommy issues. My mom knows that. Maybe we'll bring her on the podcast one day and I can just edit all of it and probably end up deleting the whole thing because she pisses me off so much. But I love her so much because she always did tell me, even though she grew up like so fiercely independent, like I wish she would have just like loved me more, mommy. Why didn't you love me? No, but she always told me, I bet on you. If it's a bet and it's money and money's on the line or something big is on the line, I will bet on you. And maybe that's better than love. So I do appreciate that. And that confidence, that only just grows. And doing this only has helped my confidence grow. So I am indebted. There would be shows where I would act an ass on air. People would be like, oh my God, you were like crazy on the show today. I'm like, yeah, well, but aren't we all? Like, don't we all have our moments? I think those parts that weren't scripted, that were the truth in our true selves. Maybe the day me and Alex got into it, maybe the day me and Chile got into it, maybe the day I couldn't stand Rod, maybe the days I couldn't stand me. Like that's real family. And anyone who says, oh yeah, like their family situation is perfect, that's also cap. Because families are crazy. They are crazy. Okay, just take it from me. All right. Speaking of family, someone asked me, well, they didn't ask me, but I got a lot of well wishes this year. Because even though I had the freedom, in 2025, I only had to do Houston Live. So like that really freed up a lot of time for me to travel. That's the other thing with Rod Ryan. We'd like take vacations together. I couldn't just be like, hey, give me that Friday off. Hey, I'm taking that Monday off. I want a 4-day weekend. That wasn't happening. Gross. So now I'm very happy to be doing that on Houston Life. And I've used that. So a lot of the federal holidays this year have landed like in a 4-day weekend situation. And I've taken a lot of really cute trips, a lot of really cute time off. We went to Kentucky at the beginning of the year. That was to visit Travis's dad. We were out in the sticks. And I am one of those people who my accent does change when I go places. I start talking like the people there, and it was fun. We had fun. I'll tell you what, we were out on the river. We were out in the Cumberland Gap. We were out with the blue tick hounds. I'm telling you, the garden. Oh, I just love it. I love that way of life out there. I love the lifestyle. I love the slow down speed. I love that we didn't have service on our cell phones. It was just, I love the community coming together to eat food, play music. Like I felt so at home. And Travis's dad is a white. I mean, it's half white, but it's real white. It's very Caucasian and lovely. So we did that. I got a chance to take Travis to Los Angeles, but see, there's LA. Okay, so I've taken Travis to LA twice. Once was like OC, fancy, wonderful. We were on a boat around yachts, Lido, like very exclusive part of California. And of course he loved that. And we dressed up and we drank champagne and we had a wonderful, marvelous time. But then on another trip, I took him to the Valley, like where I used to live, to hang out with my girlfriends and just party it up in the backyard. We actually went, it was for Father's Day. It was for Father's Day because it was like my California dad. You know what I mean? Like my California dad, Hector, who is my friend Monique's dad, who used to be like, "You fools gonna work out today? You fools going to work? You fools better be on time." He would just call us fools, you know, like we were fools. And he's just great. And Hector's the type of guy, like everyone I feel, especially right now in our lives, you have a man or woman who is just like so Gen X or like boomer, like, and they're like, "Oh, you couldn't wake up for a workout? It's because you're a pussy. Oh, you didn't go to work? Oh, you called in sick? Wow, that's crazy. You're a pussy." Like everything is your fault. Like it's like complete accountability, which I quite like and I do kind of vibe with, but like everything, like, "Oh, I'm just a piece of shit." I'm like, you need a little bit of like, there's just like a fine line of that. But like, I really appreciate that because those people they're the Mickeys in your life. If you watch Rocky, which was my dad's favorite movies, and we'll get to that here in just a second. But you need those people who don't let you give them an excuse, who don't let you have an excuse for why you didn't do something. So those people are important in your life, and you're like, fuck, they're not gonna cut me any slack on this. Like, oh, I can't tell them the truth because they're gonna call me a pussy. Like, I hate them, but I love them, and they like make me check myself. So those people are important. So we did that to LA. One of the funniest things I've done since not being on the show, I think this is so ironic because when you work for the Buzz and you go to an event, there's a lot of tats, okay? A lot of tattoo-y people, a lot of beards, lots of leather, lots of black, lots of emo, lots of colored bangs, lots of gauges, lots of piercings, lots of black fingernail polish, chipped, lots of Vans, lots of Converse, dirty, you know? That's the crowd, okay? Even me, I would like, oh, I'm going to a Buzz event, like, what leather strappy thing am I gonna put on? What color of streak of hair? What streak of hair gets the lucky color, you know? What body chain am I gonna wear? It's really. And I loved it. I love the people. And the Buzz people are the nicest people. Y'all alternative. Here, because we're here in Texas. And yeah, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, you don't have any tats?" I was like the only person in the room that didn't have any tats, okay? Like all the time. And I was just used to that. I'm like, I felt like I was everyone's geeky, like preppy mom or sister who were like, yeah, we put up, like, she's cool. She's fucking a geek. She's not like us, grunge, metal, but we allow it because she's a little silly and she calls us out and she's, you know, I'm tough in different ways. And so he never had a tattoo. Well, Well, because I never had time to get one. That's what I realized. So we go to my friend's party. She rented a room in Galveston just to celebrate her and whatever. And I was there. We spent the night. And then the next day, I spent the night 2 nights, I think. And then on Sunday, Travis came to pick me up because I am a baby. I'm just a baby. And I like to have him drop me off and pick me up when I go places, okay? I'm boss bae at work. I can't be both. I can't be boss bae in a relationship too. So comes and picks me up, and my other 2 girlfriends are like, so what are we doing? It's Sunday. Like, it's Sunday, we're at the beach. I'm like, well, fuck it, let's go to the beach, you know? And it's hot. It's still like summertime hot. And we're drinking under the Galveston Pier, because we don't have shade. We're just out there. Have you ever raw dogged the beach? Like, do not recommend. Like, I like to have a blanket. I like to have a picnic. I like to have my treats. I like to have a game, maybe some spike ball, maybe someone sets up a volleyball net, maybe some horseshoes. You know, that's the kind of I'm from Corpus Christi. I like a truck full of shit out. I like to drive far out on the beach. So this was not that. This was like, let's take our hungover selves and let's do a little bit more drinking down by the water. Okay, so we go. And we're drinking, and the place we're set up, it's like seaweed. You know, it's Galveston. The water looked good, but it was still Galveston. It was still a little dirty at that time. There have been some good days since, but we're out there, we're drinking. And I told Travis, I said, hey, he thought he was just gonna pick me up. I said, hey, change of plans. We're drinking on the beach. I need you to pick up some more michelada mix, like beers, because we took like 2, we like walked with a White Claw in our hands. So I'm like, Travis will bring us drinks. And so he brings us drinks, and they're the michelada like kits at this one Galveston convenience store. I love it. It's like the kit, and I mean, sea turtles probably hate it because there's like a straw. There is a can, a Clamato can, and then it's got like the michelada mix in it. And then I told Travis, I said, bring a bag of ice, bring some beers, and bring like 5 or 6 of those michelada kids. So we bring them, and man, it is hot, and man, they are going down so smooth. And we're just drinking. Of course, Travis loves it because he's here with me and my 2 cute girlfriends, and we're, you know, talking, and one of them's going frolicking, one of them's talking to everyone else. And I'm noticing as the waves are coming in, because we're pretty close to the water and the shade underneath the pier, there are so many beautiful seashells. So many beautiful seashells. And if you're like me, and if you're from a coastal city, gathering seashells and collecting them is just something you do as a kid. Like, I used to think there were like money and treasure and valuable, like I can pay you in shells. And maybe, you know what, in a weird way they are. Like, I've gathered shells in Belize. I've got every beach I go to, I like want to get, it's like, and also I feel like it's a very American thing, like must take from land. Like, I love gathering shells. That's just my thing. You know, it's like, is it the natural wildlife? Yes. But I also want it. I want to make a necklace out of it. And you notice those little shells, they have a little hole in it. That's like God begging you to make a necklace out of it. Okay, that's how I do it. Well, anyway, there were so many beautiful, like there were so many, I was like overwhelmed. I'm like, I could never collect all these shells. There's not enough time in the day to collect all these shells. But I was sitting there pretty buzzed. And I go, you know, the seashell is something I like enough. Like, that's something that I have liked my whole life. That's like enough. Like, I would get a tattoo of that. And like, it was like, record scratch. Every one of them looked at me. They were like, and they were like, you would get a tattoo? And I'm like, yeah, of a seashell. Like, aren't they beautiful? Isn't that a pretty thing? Next thing I know, my friend Leela's on the phone. She's booking an appointment. My friend Shell's like, I'll get one. Her name's Michelle. She's like, my name's Shell, but we call her Shell. She's like, obviously I should have a shell tattoo. And Travis was like, really, babe? And I was like, I mean, yeah. And so we like gather our things and we go to this tattoo place. And the tattoo, guys, it's a neck deep tattoo. When I tell you that my tattoo artist had one arm, just one arm, and was covered in tats and was very lovely. And I told him what he wanted and he drafted it out. I said, that's perfect. It wasn't anything too crazy. It looked like a seashell, it looked exactly like a seashell. And I said, well, where am I gonna put it? I said, left ass cheek, duh. Left ass cheek. Got the tattoo, he did it. I said, hey, I think he was doing it with his left hand. I said, hey, are you left-handed? He goes, not originally. I go, okay, that's what's up. So that's the story of how I got my first tattoo after I left the buzz, which I thought would have been a great radio story, but here we go. That's why you have to have the podcast to do that. So point being is that I've had these times to make some new memories on my own terms, which I'm so thankful for. And my world really stopped this year when my dad passed away. That's like the craziest, biggest thing that's ever happened to me. But there's been a lot of beautiful God winks and memories that have come out of that too. And I think we'll stop it there. And I think next episode will be about that and just about grief. Because even though it's the most fucked up, cruelest thing that's ever happened to me, it's also been the most relatable thing that's ever happened to me. I feel like I'm finally like understanding how other people move and the loss and the grief and the heartache and that has changed me. It's changed me in a way for the better, which is so weird how the hardest, cruelest things that life does to you or throws at you or happens to you transform you into something that's more beautiful and more you. So, ew, I don't want to cry. Not on episode 1. Ew, we'll save that for episode 2. Okay, this is Tess Talks 2.0, and I hope you had fun today. I had a lot of fun yapping it up with you.